always tell your guys that they're going to block a field goal?
I say a lot the night before the game.
What did you see against Chicago to give you that, to give them that message?
You know, our guys do a lot of film study on their own. You know, Brooksy and TJ and Lucas and JJ, and so you know, they had a pretty good idea that they had a chance at one in the game. I think the one we're probably a little bit more upset about is the 53-yarder. I think, bless you. I think TJ had a chance to block it with his elbow. You know, he just kind of got moved out of the way a little bit. So we'd like to have had that one back as well.
Were you guys sure you were lined up legally? I think they were a little irked that maybe they thought you guys
Yeah,
were.
sure.
Hey, Rich, what is it about with Carl Brooks that has enabled him to kind of be successful in that way? I know last year he had the block too against Minnesota. Is there just anything about the way he plays, or just what kind of works that has had some success being able
Well, I
to?
think he does a great job preparing. He does a lot of film study. He does a really good job in practice with his stance and his takeoff, along with TJ and, you know, the other guys that are all next to him. There's a massive humanity in there, you know, on field goal protection and on field goal rush. So I think his ability to prepare, his ability to get himself in the right body position and to time up the reach is kind of what gives him a chance to block him. I think that, would you say it's the second one? I think he's had two, and I think Kobe's had two. So it's going in the right direction right now.
You've given them a bunch of return yards. Do you see some opportunities this week?
You know, every game's different. So, you know, I know they've had some injuries and they've had some guys go down, have to play some new guys in there, but we haven't, you know, done a great job of blocking all the people we're supposed to block and the opportunities that we've had. So we're hoping to improve ourselves and really just worry about what we can do. I think they've been a good coverage team in the past. You know, they have Odom, who we have a lot of respect for in our room. He's a really good player. They have a young player in, I know, 51, Robert Beal, has been really good for them. He's playing all over the place. He's done really well on punt rush, and then he's done a really good job. I think he's leading them in tackles on their kickoff team. So we'll have our hands full with them. This Brian Schneider's been in multiple Super Bowls. He's been around a long time. You know, I've known Brian since going against them a bunch in Dallas when he was in Seattle, and so we're expecting a fast, physical challenge this week.
What does it say about Brenton Cox, a guy who I'm sure was chomping at the bit to play, and the guy headbutts him, and he just, you know, cool as a cuke and doesn't, you know, doesn't retaliate? What's that say?
Yeah, I'd say that, you know, Coach, I know, alluded to it. That was a big poised play, you know, by him, and you know, he's certainly matured over the year and a half that he's been here, and I think he's been practicing his butt off for the opportunity that he got in the game, and when he got in that critical situation, he did a heck of a job of getting back in front of that guy, getting in great body position, and it frustrated that player who happened to headbutt him, and he did a great job of holding his cool, and it took the ball from backed up inside the 10 to the 24-yard line. So it's a big play field position-wise for us. So we hope he's on the come and just keeps doing things to keeping him on the field.
Rich, in game, if Matt is the play caller and the defense is on the field and he's got to meet briefly with Jordan or something like that, you and the coaching staff, you're kind of watching the sideline or for him? I mean, what's your involvement if Matt has to take a moment to gather for the next series with offense?
Well, you know, fortunately, I get to be on the headset with Coach, so and he has the ability to go to both, you know, and to flip on and off to the offense, and so you know, I have the privilege of just being able to watch defense when they're on the field and we're always getting ready for third down, right? And because third down ready is either on offense for the punt or third down ready is offense or defense for the punt return team. So I get a chance to keep watching how the substitutions are going, both on offense and defense, and a little bit more help to Coach would be on the defensive side. And, you know, so if you see something or if Coach needs to be alerted for possible timeout or something like that, you know, it's usually done communication-wise through the headset. So.
Hey, Rich, going back to what you said on Saturday night to the guys, I mean, after the game, they were all talking about it. So when you say something like that, it's not, is it more than just pointing out a weakness? I mean, is it to get them thinking and get them confident? I mean, is there more to it than just information?
Well, you know, I really think it goes back to the preparation part. You know, we're all looking at the same film, and we're all looking at different things. And again, a credit to, you know, to Brooks and to TJ and to those guys, because they do a good job of watching the film on their own. And then on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, you know, we have big field goal and field goal protection meetings and that part of practice on the field. So, you know, they're can give suggestions or things that they see or what they'd like to do or positions they'd like to be in, and then we get to talk about it. So we all thought, you know, going into that game that we had an opportunity possibly to get our hands on one, and we'd been close, you know, last couple of weeks we've been close, and then, you know, the big one that no one really talks about is, you know, Kobe blocked a PAT at the Ram game. You know, if I remember correctly, that came down to a close game, you know, so it just happened to be the last play of the game in this particular game. But again, going back to the, you know, the 53-yarder, which has kind of been his max. I think he's hit a 54-yarder. He's missed on a 56 indoors, and we really thought we could get our hands on that one. Came out a little bit low and just missed it. So real appreciative of our guys getting their hands on that last one. But, you know, we do say a lot of things during the course of the week and the night before a game, and so I wish they'd all come true, but that one worked out.